So today we will discuss the Ampere circuits law. So and also we can derive the one more Maxwell's equation. So where we have derived the Maxwell's equation in electrostatics, that is del dot D equal to rho V and del cross E equal to 0. Okay. Similarly here we can derive one more Maxwell's equation. We will see what is that, and we can first discuss about the Ampere circuits law. Okay. So now what is this Ampere circuits law says? So similarly whatever we studied in electrostatics, that is the Gauss law. So similar like it is more or similar like the Gauss law. So where we have find out the total charge enclosed by the surface or volume. So here also we can find out what is the total current, okay, so which is enclosed by any closed path. So that is what we are going to find in this Ampere circuits law. So it actually states that, so if any closed integral which is h dot dl, okay, any closed path, if you take the integral of h around that closed path, okay, so that will give the net current which is enclosed by that path. Okay, so whatever the net current which is enclosed by that path, which is gives the integral of this h dot dl. So that is what the Ampere circuit law says. Okay. So now as I said, this is similar like the Gaussian law. So that is Gaussian surface, whatever we assume whenever we find out the total charge in a charge distribution. So where the charge distribution is symmetrical, we have find out the line charge, surface charge and volume charge where the charge is symmetric. Okay, so the distribution of the charge is symmetric over any surface or volume. So similarly here, so we apply the same thing in terms of the current distribution. Okay, if the current distribution is symmetric, so then we can apply this Ampere circuit law to find out so the total current enclosed by that closed surface or closed path, okay, or closed volume. Okay, so here, so that point we need to note down here, the current distribution is symmetric. Okay, similar like charge distribution, the current distribution should be symmetric. Okay, so now in order to find out the current, so which we have taken here, so the current enclosed by that path, closed path, h dot dl. So now we'll apply the Stokes theorem. So where we have applied in electrostatics the divergence theorem, that is surface integral of del dot d with del, that is d dot ds, which is equal to the volume integral of del so dot d. That is what we have applied. Here we will apply the Stokes theorem, that is line integral to the surface integral. That is, so this is a line integral h dot dl which is equal to the surface integral of curl of that h. Okay, that is what the Stokes theorem which we have discussed already. Okay, so this is what, so if we one more equation if I take, where we can find out the current in terms of the current density, which is nothing but the surface integral of j dot ds, that is current density. That also we know the surface integral of current density which gives the current. Okay, so now if we compare this right side of the integral, okay, so this equation, both the equation, say for example equation 1 and equation 2, if you compare at the right side of the equation, so in the left side both are same, that current which is enclosed. Now if I compare at the right side, so we will get the equation as, that is del cross h which is equal to j. So this is what the one more Maxwell's equation. Okay, so wherever the circulation of magnetic field exists, so the curl means, which we have already defined, the curl is the circulation of a vector. Okay, so wherever the circulation of this magnetic field exists, so there it will be having a current density. Okay, so this is what the Ampere law says, and also it is called as the point form of or differential form of the Ampere's law. Okay, so the differential form or point form. Okay, so differential form of the Ampere's law. So where this j which is not equal to 0, so that we can say, so wherever the circulation of this magnetic field exists, so there is a current which is flowing there. Okay, so and also this says that, so whenever we have del cross E which is equal to 0, that we have derived in the electrostatic case, so where we have the electric field which is, or electrostatic field which is conservative, but here the magnetostatic field is not conservative. Okay, because of the circulation nature, and there is a current which is flowing. Okay, so even when the magnetostatic field or static magnetic field is not conservative, but when we take only the magnetic field, okay, so that is actually conservative. Okay, so because this magnetic field is always so associated with electric field, the magnetic field it is conservative, but the static magnetic field or magnetostatic field is not conservative. Okay, so now this is what the Ampere circuit's law, and this is the Maxwell's equation in differential form. Okay, so now we will see what are the applications, or where we can find out the application of this Ampere circuit's law. So similar like in Gauss law, where we have find out the charge distribution or total charge on the charge distribution wherever it is in the surface or volume. Here we can find out the current, so in a different the current distribution, or magnetic field we can find out in a different current distribution. Okay, so if we apply the Ampere circuit law for some symmetrical current distribution, where we have, as I said, so there is a line current, so where the current distribution is symmetric. So if I take axis, symmetric axis, so if say for example the conductor, the carrying current which is flowing in the z direction, which is having symmetric current distribution, so we can apply the Ampere circuit. Similarly, we have the surface current which is flowing, the current which is flowing on the surface. So if it is distribution is symmetric, so then we can apply this Ampere circuit's law. And also the volume kind of thing, that is in the coaxial cable, so where we have the inner conductor and the outer conductor, so which is carrying current, so both which is carrying current in the opposite direction. So similar kind of these cases we can apply the Ampere circuit's law. And where we have for symmetrical current distribution, where we have that H dot dl which is equal to the total current enclosed by this by that closed path. If the H is parallel to this whatever the line, differential line, okay, if H is parallel to that differential line, so then we have the magnetic field which is constant. Okay, and it may be perpendicular or parallel. So if it is parallel, we can have the magnetic field which is constant. Okay, so now we can take the cases where we have the infinite line current, the distribution is symmetric, and similarly so other two cases. Okay, so we will take the first one, so where we have the current carrying conductor or infinite line current. So let us take, or let us assume the current which is on the z axis, the current carrying conductor which is flowing, so which is having infinite length, that is plus infinity to minus infinity. Okay, and we have the coordinates x and y. So now we have to assume like a Gaussian surface, we have to assume here the Amperian path as per the Ampere circuit's law. In order to find out, say for example, if I want to find out the magnetic field at point P, we have to assume the Amperian path, so that the path which will be that path will give the current enclosed by the conductor. So that is, if the current, this current is carrying the conductor I, we have to assume the path, because we have that H dot dl which is equal to I enclosed. Now this path, the closed path, whatever we are okay, so whatever the closed path which is there, so that should be enclosed, that path should be enclosed the current, okay, the current carrying conductor. So now if I assume the point P somewhere here, and if I want to find out the magnetic field due to the infinite line, so we have to assume the Amperian path which actually encloses this current carrying conductor. So that is what the current should be enclosed by this path. So now if I assume this as an Amperian path, okay, so which is having a radius rho, okay, and we have some small differential element dl, okay. So since we have the Amperian path here, so since the current carrying conductor on the direction of z, so let us take the magnetic field which is there due to this carrying conductor, which is in the direction of a pi, okay. So now we know, so the I, which is equal to nothing but the h dot dl, and where the h on this path, that Amperian path, is constant. Wherever you go, the h is constant here, so we can take that one. So h is constant, and dl, so this dl is nothing but a circular path which is having a radius of rho, so that we can write it as h into 2 pi rho. So this will be actually in the direction, the magnetic field is in the direction of a phi, okay. So that we can write it as h into a phi. So now we can find out what is the h. So that is h into 2 pi rho into a phi. So h is nothing but I by 2 pi rho in the direction of a phi. So this is similar case where we have taken a general case where we have the any current carrying conductor which is having some length, okay. So here, so that the length which is taking as infinite case, okay. So that's why it is having the similar whatever we derived the current carrying conductor which is having some length. If we extend that into the infinite length, so this will give this equation. So both are similar, so where we have derived earlier and now, okay. So this is what the magnetic field, so due to the current carrying conductor which is having infinite length, okay, or we can have infinite line of the current. So now we can apply, so to find out the magnetic field, so due to a surface, that is a sheet of current, so where we have the infinite sheet of current. Now let us take this case where we have the sheet of current, okay, so which is there in the perpendicular to the z axis, okay. So let us take the sheet of current which is carrying the current in the y direction, okay. So let us take the current which is there, the current density which is k, represented by k, so it is in the direction of the y direction, okay. So now this sheet of current, so let us take that is minus infinity to plus infinity, so infinite sheet of current, so which is perpendicular to z axis, okay. So now we have to assume, so where the surface current on the top and as well as bottom of the sheet, okay. So where we have, so this surface current both in the top and as well as we can assume, so the blue current which is flowing on the bottom, okay. So both we have to enclosed by the Amperian path. In order to find out the magnetic field, so the total current should be enclosed by that path. So that's why we have to assume an Amperian path, okay, where we have enclosed the top surface current as well as the bottom surface current of the sheet. So now we can assume the Amperian path where we have, so like this, okay. So this actually the closed path which is actually having the current which is flowing encloses the current which is flowing on the top surface as well as the bottom surface, okay. So where we have the distance here, whatever the closed path which is having a top surface current which is flowing on this and bottom surface current flowing on this, okay. So now let us take this one as the 1 2, the path number 1 2 3 4, and where we have the length here it is a and here it is b, okay. So on the x axis which is b, on the z axis which is a, okay. So now if you see, so the closed path which we are assuming 1 2 3 4, okay, so which contains both top surface and the bottom surface current. So now this h dot dl, where the closed path, okay, which is nothing but I enclosed, which is equal to nothing but the current density in the direction of y into b. So this b where we are taking this path, why we are taking this path, we will see why it is going. because so the sheet is placed along the z direction, okay, and the current is flowing along the y direction. Now if we have the sheet is placed along the that is perpendicular to z direction and the current is flowing in the y direction, so now we have the magnetic field, so where it is the circulation of the magnetic field which is so perpendicular to or encircling this the current, so it will be in the x direction only, okay, wherever the current which is going in this direction, so the magnetic field will circulate around that the current carrying direction. So now we have z direction and the current carrying y direction. So now if I take the cross product of z and y, so we will get the magnetic field in only in the x direction, that is either it is flowing in the positive x direction and it is encircling in negative x direction, okay. So that's why it is only the path which is having a consider only b, so that's why it is ky into b, okay. So now we have to evaluate the h. So we know that dl, the path dl which is enclosed here, but we have to find out still h. So h, as I said, it is only in the positive direction or it is only in the negative direction of x, okay. So that we can write it as the magnitude of h which is in the positive x direction or which is having in the negative x direction. So this is what the magnetic field. So now only for this one h naught is positive for z greater than 0. Let us take the magnetic field which is, so when the top surface current on top of the sheet which is going in this direction and the bottom surface current, so that is the magnetic field at the bottom which is going in this direction which is z less than 0, okay. So now we have to find out the magnitude h naught. So for that we will apply the closed path, that is h dot dl, which is nothing but the integral from path 1 to 2 plus integral from path 2 to 3 plus integral from path 3 to 4 plus integral from path 4 to 1. So this into the h dot dl, okay. So all the path we are considering. So now we have, so the h, so the magnetic field, so in this direction, so there is no magnetic field in this direction, only in this direction or in this direction. So because of that, the integral 1 to 2 having 0 magnetic field and the length is a, okay. So similarly 2 to 3 we have the magnetic field which is, so we assume it as h naught, okay. So in the direction of plus b, and we have the magnetic field which is in the okay, so 4 to 1 which is plus and this one is, we will assume it as the minus, the direction is minus. So and we have 0 in the 3 to 4 direction and plus the h naught in h naught b in the 4 to 1 direction, okay. So that is minus h naught and minus b. So here we are going in the negative direction, that is 2 to 3, okay. So because we are moving negative to the x direction, minus h naught minus b, and here h naught and plus b. So now your h dot dl which will be equal to, so 2 times h naught into b. That is what we are find out by using this Amperian path. So now we know the current which is enclosed and with respect to current density. So if we equate these two equations, that is equation number 1 and equation number 2, so we will going to get what is the value of h, okay. That is magnitude of h naught we will going to get. So that we can write it as the 2 into h naught b which is equal to ky into b. So that we can write it as h naught which is equal to half into ky, okay. So this is what the magnitude of the h. So as we have find out h which is in the direction of h naught, so in the direction of ax plus, that is z is greater than 0 and minus h naught ax in z less than 0. So now if I substitute that one, we will going to get half into ky in the direction of ax. So this is nothing but minus half into ky in the direction of minus ax. So that is z less than 0 and this is z greater than 0. So now this is what you are going to get the H value. Okay, so in general we can have half into the current density into the normal vector. Okay, so this is what we have the magnetic field due to a sheet of current. Okay, infinite sheet of current, where we assume the Amperian path which closes the top surface current and the bottom surface current. Okay, so here you have to carefully take that one, because if you find out the magnetic field intensity at somewhere at z axis, so this we have to assume the magnetic field due to this and magnetic field due to this. So this will actually, so the dH in the that is x whatever in the z direction which is going, and here also. So if I write that, so in order to find out the unit vector, so that is, so you need to take care. So unit vector, so if I take the xz plane, so just if you take the xz plane, so where we have the path 1 to 2 and 3 to 4, so if I assume that one, so that will going to be the cancels, and we have only the filaments which contains the top and bottom surface. That is, if I assume the xz plane in order to find out that, so this is z and this is x. Okay, so where we have the filament 1 and filament 2, so this is the path where we have taken 1 to 2 and 3 to 4. Okay, now if I take the magnetic field due to these filaments on the z axis, okay, so there we have the two filaments, and similarly in the negative z axis. Okay, so now assume, so due to filament 1, so we are finding out dH1, and similarly due to the filament 2, so we are assuming the magnitude of this one dH2 perpendicular to this filament. So now if I take in the negative direction, this is dH2, so exactly the resultant will be, so the resultant will be dH, which is going in the positive z direction. Similarly if I take here, okay, so which is perpendicular to this filament, and similarly here perpendicular to this filament, so if I extend here, so this one it will go to the magnetic field like this. So since they are going in the opposite directions, so that will cancel each other. So only remaining with that the top and bottom. So since due to this filament it is going to cancel each other, so only due to this either it is going in the positive direction or negative direction. So that's how we will going to get only in the x direction. Okay, so sorry, here whatever I said here, here it is only negative direction or positive direction of H which will exist, because it is in the, this is in the x direction. Okay, so that's how we are going to find out what is the magnetic field. And now, so let us take, if we have the current carrying conductor which is placed along the y direction. So now can you able to find out what is, so say for example current it is flowing in the z direction. Okay, the current sheet which is placed at y equal to somewhere the constant plane 2 centimeter or something like that. Okay, the current which is carrying in the z direction. Okay, so the sheet is placed along the y direction. Okay, so now can you able to find out what is H, so in which direction H it is, the cross product of this one, so it is nothing but in the direction of x it will be there. Okay, so similar like we can able to find out, so what is the normal unit normal vector, so that unit normal vector always directed from the current sheet to the point of interest. Let us take, if I take the point of interest is here. Okay, so always it is, so it is directed, so that unit vector normal which is always directed from the current sheet to the point of interest. Okay, so So that's how we'll going to find out the unit normal vector. So this is about the sheet of current. Okay, so where we have the infinite sheet of current and we can able to find out the magnetic field. So now similarly we can have the spherical distribution where we have assumed the volume or infinitely long coaxial transmission line. So where we have two conductors, so this is infinitely long coaxial transmission line. So where we have, so here two the spherical conductors, where we have two spherical conductors which is infinitely long. Okay, so this is also having some thickness. Okay, so this is having a radius A. Okay, and this is having the inner radius B and which is having a thickness T. Okay, so now where we have the infinite length coaxial transmission line. So now the inner conductor which is carrying current plus I, so which is out of page, which is coming out of page like this, and similarly which the outer conductor which carries current I into the coaxial line, that is in the negative direction, so that is going into the page. Okay, so this is going out of the page, the current I, and it is going into the page, or we can have so going into the along the coaxial line. Okay, so now we will assume the Gaussian surface, that Amperian path. So similar like Gaussian surface, so to find out the magnetic field. Okay, so now where we current carrying conductor which is there, so the magnetic field it is always in the phi direction. If I assume it as the cylindrical coordinates, so where we have the radius which is having rho and the length along the z axis, and we have the phi direction, rho, phi and z. So now we will apply the cases where we have to assume the Amperian path, because that Amperian path is nothing but we have to take the path in such a way that the current we have to find out the enclosed current. Okay, so we'll assume first, so where we have the Amperian path, okay, so which is less than A, the first one which is less than A, this is Amperian path where the current is flowing here, and second one, so the Amperian path which encloses the first conductor, that is inside conductor, and we have the Amperian path which is exactly middle of the second coaxial conductor, and final one, so which is having a complete enclosure of the complete conductor. So let us take the four cases, that is L4, L3, L2 and L1. Okay, so that is what the 4 Amperian path and 4 cases where we need to find out. The first case where your rho, okay, so that rho which is assume the radius of the Amperian path. Okay, so that is less than A, that is the inner conductor, and similarly so we have the rho which is greater than A or between A to B, so that is, so this is A and this is B, and rho which is between A to B, and similarly so the rho which is between the B to B plus T, that is, so that is B less than rho, so rho which is greater than B and B plus T, and final one rho which is greater than B plus T, so that is outermost circle. So now we will apply the first one for the first case where rho is less than A. Okay, so that we have the line integral H dot dl which is equal to I enclosed. So now we have to find out, so I enclosed by using the current density which is J dot ds, that surface current density. So now if I find out the surface current density of the coaxial conductor which is having a radius A, so that will give the J which is nothing but, so the current I which is carrying by this conductor divided by pi A square. So that is the the area of this inner conductor pi a square. Okay, so now the ds is nothing but, so the current which is going in the direction of z. Okay, so the current, so which is going in the direction of z, let us assume this is in the az axis, and that is rho axis, and this is a phi axis. So this is phi axis and this is rho axis. Okay, so now since the current is flowing in the az direction, now the surface, okay, so in the cylindrical coordinates, the ds, the surface area, differential surface area in the direction of az, we can define it as rho d phi into d rho. Okay, so that is what we will going to find out ds. Now we can able to find out what is j dot ds. Okay, so if I find out that j dot ds, so that is nothing but I enclosed, which is nothing but j dot ds. Okay, so which is equal to the surface integral from 0 to 2 pi and 0 to rho, because we are assuming it as rho which is less than a. Okay, so that radius we will assume it as 0 to rho, and j which is nothing but I into pi a square, so that ds is nothing but rho d rho into d phi. Okay, so now if I integrate this one, so we will going to get I by pi a square into, so the rho d rho will get it as rho square by 2. Okay, so this rho d rho with respect to the 0 to rho, if I substitute, it will give again rho square by 2 into d phi, which is equal to 2 pi. So now this will going to get cancelled, so we will get I into, so that is rho square divided by a square, so this pi will get cancelled. So this is what your the h dot dl, which is nothing but I enclosed. Okay, so h dot dl we will going to get. Okay, so now if we have the circle, so the current carrying conductor which is having a radius a. Okay, so now where we are taking the a, which is nothing but, so which is the rho which we have assumed the Amperian path inside. Okay, so which is less than a. So now we can have the constant magnetic field along the phi direction and this dl. So this which will be equal to I rho square by a square. So now this dl is nothing but the circumference of this the circle, where we have 2 pi so into rho. So that is h phi into 2 pi into rho, which is nothing but I rho square by a square. So now this will give h phi, which is equal to I into rho divided by 2 pi into a square. So this is what the magnetic field, so where we have assumed the first one, the path L1, which is inside the inner conductor of the coaxial transmission line. So now let us take rho which is greater than a. Okay, so similarly here in this case where we have rho less than a, now if I consider rho greater than a, which is nothing but rho will become equal to a. Okay, so if for the case rho greater than a, so rho will become equal to a. So for that case we can have substitute, so which is rho equal to a. So that is for the second case where, so the rho which is greater than the a to b, that is, so between a to b, which is nothing but rho equal to a. Okay, so if I substitute that one, h phi equal to I into rho by 2 pi a square, so which is nothing but I rho by 2 pi into rho square, which is nothing but I by 2 pi rho. So this is in the a phi direction, so that is encircling the conductor, so which is same as the single current carrying conductor which we have defined, because the only we are assuming the inner conductor, the Amperian path which is enclosed by the inner conductor, that is what the case second. Okay, so that's why it is giving the result which is same as earlier single carrying current conductor. Okay, so now similarly if I go for the third case, that is where, so where we have the rho which is equal to the greater than b and less than b plus t. Okay, so here we have to find out what is I. Okay, so here so the I enclosed, which is nothing but, sorry, so this is I enclosed for this case. So here we can see here where we have, so here in between these two the points where we have B and B plus T. So that is the outer conductor. Inside the outer conductor, so exactly on the center we are assuming the Amperian path where it is on the center of B and B plus T. Okay, so that is what the third case. So now if I take that case where which is having between B and B plus T, I enclosed, which is nothing but, which is already I is there because of the inner conductor which is flowing I, and we have to find out due to the outer conductor what is the I, which is nothing but the integral of J dot ds, the surface integral of J dot ds. So now, so in this case the current is flowing. So now here see the current is flowing into the conductor, so that is nothing but minus I. Okay, so that will give in the minus AZ direction, the current it is flowing in the minus AZ direction. So now the J which will give minus I, so in the direction of AZ, so this divided by, so the pi A square. So now A is nothing but, so between B and B plus T. So that rho which is nothing, that whatever the radius which is we are assuming here in the outer conductor, so that A, so whatever the radius A, so which we have assumed pi A square, we have to substitute. That A is nothing but B to B plus T. So that is 2, so we have to substitute, that is the B plus T whole square minus B square. So that is what we need to substitute for the pi A square. So now we have to integrate this one J dot ds over the differential surface, which is nothing but rho d rho and d phi, because it is in the AZ direction. So the differential surface area in the AZ direction is rho d rho and d phi. So now if I substitute that one, which will give I plus, so which is nothing but the minus I into I by pi P plus T whole square minus B square. So double integral, which is 0 to 2 pi, and now here it is between the B to rho, because we are assuming, so in between, so this is the lower end is B, the Amperian path is the rho. Okay, so that is B to rho, so that is into rho d rho and d phi. Okay, so now if I take that one, that is I enclosed, which is equal to I plus, so the minus I divided by pi into B plus T whole square minus B square. So integral of 0 to 2 pi, 0 to, sorry, B to rho d rho and d phi I can write here. Okay, so this will give I plus minus I divided by pi into B plus T whole square minus B square. Okay, so this into the 2 pi, and we have a rho square by 2, which is B and rho. Now if I substitute for this one, we will going to get I plus minus I divided by pi into B plus T whole square minus B square into 2 pi into rho square minus B square divided by 2. Now this 2 will get cancelled and 5 will get cancelled. We have left out with this one I into 1 minus rho square minus B square. So this divided by the B plus T whole square minus B square. So this is what you will going to get for the I enclosed. Okay, so now which is nothing but, so this we can equate it to the integral of H dot dl. So that if I integrate that one, so that we know this one it is nothing but H phi into 2 pi rho. Okay, so now if I put that one, so you will going to get the equation for H phi. Okay, so now if I equate it that one, so you will going to get H phi, which is equal to I divided by 2 pi rho into 1 minus rho square minus b square divided by b plus t whole square minus b square. So this is what the magnetic field due to the third Amperian path which we have assumed. So the center of the outer conductor, that is the rho, which is nothing but, so b less than rho, that is less than b plus t, that is b, that rho greater than b and less than b plus t. So now we will take the outer path, so which is almost at the complete outside of the conductor, so where we have the complete outer conductor. Now we can see here I which is coming out of the conductor, inner conductor, and minus I which is going into the conductor. Now total current, so which is there, which is nothing but I plus minus I, which is equal to 0. So that's why the fourth case, so the fourth case where, so rho which is greater than b plus t, so the magnetic field which is 0 because of the current which are flowing in the opposite direction. Okay, so now let us summarize what are all the magnetic field which you have obtained. Okay, so that is, so I rho divided by 2 pi a square in the direction of a phi, which is rho less than a, that is the first case where we can have 0 to less than a. So let us take less than a, which if it is equal then it will be the case, a different case. So now where we have a less than or equal to rho, less than or equal to b, we have I by 2 pi rho into a phi. Okay, and similarly the third case, so I by 2 pi rho into 1 minus rho square minus b square divided by b plus t whole square minus b square. So this into a phi. So where we have b less than equal to rho less than or equal to b plus t, and where we have 0 for rho greater than b plus t. So this is what the magnetic field, so that is in the direction of phi, will going to get for the coaxial transmission line. Okay, so infinitely extended coaxial transmission line. So now if I plot the magnetic field H phi, okay, so the versus rho for different rho, so we will going to get the value where we have I by 2 pi a, where rho will become equal to a. Okay, so where rho equal to a, and we have the exponentially decaying value, and where we have here I by 2 pi b. Okay, so I by 2 pi b, where we will be having rho equal to, that is b. So if I substitute rho equal to b, so you will going to get 2 pi b, and again you will going to get 0 at b plus t. Rho equal to b plus t, you will going to get the field which is 0, and in between b plus t and b, so it is again exponential decaying. So this is how the graphical representation we can do for the magnetic field. Okay, so if anybody any doubt you can ask. Understood all of you? So if you have any doubt you can ask. Hello. Hello, anybody, any doubt? Okay, so let us take a simple problem, one problem which we can do based on the current sheet. Let us take this problem. So simple problem which is plane which I already described. Plane y equal to 1 carries a current of K, which is equal to 50 into Az, that is 50 in the direction of Az, milliampere per meter. Okay, find H. So at the first point, which is 0 0 0, which we need to find, and B, which is 1 comma 5 comma minus 3. We need to find out, so the magnetic field at these points due to the current sheet which is placed at y equal to 1. So now let us take this problem and assume the at y equal to 1, okay, at y equal to 1 there is a sheet which is placed, okay. At y equal to 1 there is a sheet which is placed. Okay, so at y equal to, sorry, so the exact thing I am not able to write here, which is perpendicular to y equal to 1. So let us take like this. Okay, so y equal to 1, the sheet is placed perpendicular to y equal to 1. Okay, so now the current which is actually in the z direction, let us take, so which we have defined, that is K, so 50 milliampere per meter, so which is flowing in the z direction. Now we have to find out H, which is at 0, 0, 0 at this point. Now see here, so since the current which is flowing in the z direction, okay, so if I assume the Amperian path like this, okay, so which is contains, so how we can visualize, so this is actually in this direction where we have both top surface and this top surface and the bottom surface, which is y equal to negative at this side bottom surface and y equal to positive which is at the top surface. Okay, so now if I apply the where we have find out the magnetic field due to infinite sheet current, so that is nothing but half into K in the normal direction, that is AN. Okay, so K cross AN. So now the K which is actually in the direction of AZ, so the magnitude of K and the direction of AZ, and the normal vector which is along the Y, okay, the sheet is placed normal to the or perpendicular to the Y. Okay, so then AZ cross AY, which is nothing but T minus AX. Okay, so that is what we will going to get, so the where the magnetic field exists. So now H we have to find out at 0, 0, 0, then the perpendicular vector, that AN vector, which is nothing but equal to minus AY. Okay, so if I substitute minus AY, so this will become plus AX. So now if I find out half into, if I substitute the magnitude of K, which is 50 into 10 power minus 3, so this will give the magnetic field at 0.000, so due to this the current sheet, that is 25 milliampere per meter in the direction of AX. So that is what you will going to get at 0, 0, 0. Now similarly if I put at H equal to 1, 5, 3, so this is say 1, and 5, 3 somewhere here. Okay, 1, 5, minus 3, sorry, minus 3, no, so here, so Z is negative, so 1, 5, minus 3. So if I find out this one, so now AY direction, so the unit vector normal, so which is the point which is perpendicular to the Y direction, it is in the positive direction. So if it is positive direction, then AZ into AY, which will be equal to minus AX. So now the magnetic field will be in the direction of minus AX for this case. So the magnitude will remain same, so 25 milliampere per meter, but the unit vector which is in the direction of minus AX. So that is what for this problem, that is this at this point the magnetic field. Okay, so is it understood? Any doubt in this? So the problem whatever I discussed, if you have any doubt you can ask. Hello. So always you have to take the cross product of the vector, the current flowing vector, and the sheet which is placed perpendicular to the plane. So then you will going to get the the direction of the magnetic field. So that is what important in this problem. So this normal, unit vector normal, and the direction of the current, the cross product will give the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, so is it understood? Any doubt, anybody? Hello, Kirtana, understood? Hello, Sunil, Sumana, Sai
Yes, sir.
Venkat, yeah. Any doubt, Sunil?
No, sir.
Shilpa, Raghavendra.
Yes, sir.
So understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, we'll stop here and we'll see some more problems based on this, the Amperian path and Ampere's law, Ampere circuit's law. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can ask, or even we'll do some more problems based on this, and we'll move on to the magnetic flux density. Okay. So okay, we'll discuss tomorrow.